my name is Oliver and I'm MaMaTa's Chief Data Officer. At MaMaTa, we love industry and we love stories. Fortunately, workers on the shop floor are great at telling stories, holding a wealth of undocumented tribal knowledge. Industrial assets also share a lot of data about their conditions and their behavior, but in their own language and often in a very unstructured manner. Our mission is to decode and reconcile those two sides of the same story, delivering this knowledge to both OEMs and shop floor workers in a way that they can understand and use it. This will enable them to make more informed, knowledge-driven decisions, ultimately boosting industrial performance. Plus, it's also very important to us that we do this in a scalable and efficient way. MaMaTa is a subsidiary of the same group as MaCaSum, a leader OEM in the industrial bakery. So they are our main focus to date, and we provide them with our tool to help them better understand their equipment and as a way to stay close to their remote clients. There's a saying that in every machine, about 70% of the function have been reused from other equipment and only 30% are very specific. Our objective is to take that into account so that the knowledge we create about a machine, a function, or an actuator is immediately linked to similar assets, enriching the whole knowledge graph. As an example, a baker would be surprised to learn that a glass wool insulation panel is also processed using proofing and baking. Therefore, every machine we connect should be considered a modular, configurable system. Connecting new equipment should be a breeze, and valuable information should start flowing immediately, especially for the standard components or functions. To meet our objective, we explored various platform solutions, but we encountered several issues. Many options were no-code platforms that were not powerful enough or simply not designed with industrial use cases in mind. They also lacked flexible data modeling tools, which was a significant drawback for our needs. Additionally, connecting new equipment or new production line was a very tedious and time-consuming task. The data processing capabilities were often limited, usually just offering a basic function library. And finally, there was no room to convert shop floor stories into structured data, which is essential for our operations. To address the challenges I described, we decided to choose Cognite Data Fusion, and I'll share with you some of the things we have done with the platform. So let's begin with the data modeling service. Data modeling is important for MaMaTa because it allows us to create a place for every piece of data that we collect, be it a time series or a piece of knowledge shared by a subject matter expert. With our previous platform, we were limited to sites, lines, and equipment to store all the data. Now we have a much more complex data model, and you can see that we can store very detailed information about a specific equipment, but in a standard way. For example, we have our own definition of a process equipment, which for us is always made of a conveyor part and a process part. And here you can see that we model things up to the motor and its components. Now let me show you how we work with Cognite charts. Once the data is stored in the data model, we begin to work on the understanding of that data. For that, we use charts. It's like our prototyping playground. For example, on that stone oven, we can see that the cylinder on the left-hand side of the conveyor, which is used to tension the chain, is not behaving as expected. It should be as smooth as the one on the right-hand side. A subject matter expert would tell us that it is because the chain on that side is becoming stiff due to a greasing problem. On that similar oven, I'm surprised to see that the motor current is oscillating. But I'm curious to find out at what frequency in order to understand what component is involved. For that, let's move on to an app that we developed on Streamlit inside CDF. In this app, we can calculate the fast Fourier transfer of our oven motor current. It is valuable for us to be able to use this advanced diagnosis tool that we created without ever leaving the platform. By the way, we can immediately see that things were different at the beginning of May from what they seem to be right now. We would have to investigate with the expert to what we could link the increase of amplitude that we can see, but I can already say that this will be interesting to monitor in the long run. So we will work on packaging that as a function that will run on CDF. It will eventually generate its own time series and, if necessary, also some alerts that would be sent to shop floor workers through our customer portal. Finally, let me show you the front end that we built to deliver actionable insights to people at MaMaTa and on customer factories in a user-friendly way. On that portal, we can present the same data, but in a very refined and contextualized way. For that, using the API and the SDK available was a game changer. We are able to easily pull data from CDF to visualize it on the portal and create a compelling user experience. The alert that we were talking about would end up here. Of course, most of the data we are collecting is also available. For an asset like the stone oven, the key indicators can be seen at a glance. But the main point for us is that everything from collecting a new measurement on an asset to the data being available through the API is very quick, so we can answer a new need expressed by one of our customers in a very agile way and improve our solution rapidly. So far, we've managed in 3 months to get from no platform and no front end to a first site connected and its data available in the first version of our customer portal. Everything is now in place to accelerate, connect more assets, and develop the whole solution to offer even more value to people at MaMaTa and on bakery production sites. Being able to offer our digital solution to prospects has already allowed us to defend our margin in a recent contract win. We also want to take advantage of the GenAI capabilities in CDF to present knowledge in a more natural and intuitive way. One thing I envision is dynamically adapting the content based on the user's profile, tailoring it to their level of technical expertise. To finish, thank you for having me, and thanks a lot to the team at Cognite for assisting us in the last months. We clearly could not have made it without you. Thanks, guys.